PG Tech Research Institute is India's exclusive research organization established for the purpose of creating awareness on scientific and analytical instrumentation in the scientific community. With our institutionally certified courses, we provide research and training on high-tech analytical and scientific instruments used in pharmaceutical, chemical and advanced technologies industries. Our organization, in association with universities and government and private colleges, conducts training programs and seminars in Central India.
So we have with us Dr. Sachin Bhagwat. He is a Senior Vice President from Drug Discovery Research, Wockhardt Research Center at Aurangabad.
So I think to begin with, let me convey my heartfelt thanks to, of course, PG Tech Research Institute as well as SLP College for organizing such an interesting faculty development program. I think it is a very apt moment to be able to share insight of some novel scientific achievements that have happened in our country. In our country, discovery of novel antibiotics, or for that matter, any novel drug, has never happened in the past. So you would be surprised to note that even after 75 years of our independence, India as a country has never been able to discover any new drug which is being used today. I'm sure many of you are aware that we must be using more than 3 or 4 dozens of drugs every day in our life, starting from as simple as drugs like paracetamol to lower our fever. Some drugs like we commonly know are Sinarest or azithromycin, and many of the drugs which are required to treat diabetes or hypertension. So all of us consume number of them every day. But just to let you know and give you a reality check that none of these drugs have been discovered by any of our Indian entities, inclusive of government institutes or even the private sector. So that was a kind of a first example where India was able to say that we can also discover new antibiotics. And then now in 2020, it's our group, that is the group based out of Wockhardt, who have now launched an entirely new antibiotic, not discovered anywhere else but in India, and have launched it a couple of months back. So the next slide basically lets you know that how antibiotics are used in clinical setting. This is a very different area for a number of you, because as I told you that typically this is taught in the field of medical microbiology or in the field of clinical microbiology. Possibly medical colleges do have some exposure to this kind of science. So just to tone up the thing, I would like to let you know that for the antibiotics, the treatment of antibiotics typically happen in community, and it can also happen in hospital. One of the other issues that you face when you don't have good antibiotics is even as simple as procedures like childbirth also can get significantly compromised, because when a childbirth process is taking place either through C-section operation or through any complex surgeries, the mother and the baby both are required to give antibiotics to have a successful childbirth operation. And likewise, if anybody undergoes an organ transplant or a bypass surgery, bone and joint surgeries, hip and knee replacement, cancer therapies, all these therapies can only become successful when you have strong antibiotics available to treat the secondary bacterial infection. Because all these surgeries, basically the patient get infected, and even though the surgeries may be successful, the patient dies because of the bacterial infection. That is the sad part of today's healthcare system, that surgeries may be successful, but the patient dies because of bacterial infection in the absence of novel antibiotics. Situation is changing as far as the patients are concerned because of the increase in life expectancy. Many patients are being now found out that they also suffer a lot of comorbidities. What do you mean by comorbidities? Remember that when you take antibiotic, the antibiotic is taken by either mouth or through injectable route. And now the antibiotic actually goes into your body, which is your blood and your tissues. And now it will go inside the body at different places and will ultimately lead to reaching to those places where the bacterial infection is taking place. So it means that when you take antibiotic, your first target of an antibiotic is human being, and the second target is the bacteria. It has to overcome two targets. Why two targets? Because when you take an antibiotic, it has to be safe for human body. It should be safe for consumption. It should not be toxic to the human being, but it should be very toxic to the bacteria. Molecular biology. So proteomics and genomics basically took the center stage, and there was a spectacular failure by all big pharma companies, and these approaches completely failed, giving rise to a failure in the discovery of novel antibiotics all over the world. And some of the other factors, such as, the antibiotic are generally short course therapies. So you don't take it just like a diabetes drug or a cardiovascular drug. You don't take it lifelong. You take only for a few days, and then hospitals actually insist on using the antibiotic as low as possible. All that caused a huge amount of return of investment issue. So while companies were spending millions and millions of dollars, but they were not able to recover that cost because of all these issues. And as a result, all the big pharma companies completely exited from the antibiotic discovery space. That antibiotics were not being discovered, companies moved out of this field, but the bacteria kept on becoming resistant. You can see the list of bacteria which were causing numerous mortality all over the world. And we were in a situation where, on one hand, bacteria became extremely resistant, and on the other hand, people who were responsible for discovering novel antibiotics significantly reduced. Look at the left, where once upon a time, more than 20-25 companies were actively involved in the discovery of novel antibiotics. And today you are left hardly with half a dozen companies which are actually doing this kind of work, really bringing about a very serious issue as to what will happen in the future. In the gram-positive antibiotic space also, there is a huge issue. Some of the workhorse drugs, that is the drugs which are used on day-to-day basis, have a lot of limitations which are listed here. Many of you may not be aware of these names, but I will let you know that these are the drugs almost every patient gets as soon as you go into the hospital. And today they have a lot of limitations, as has been mentioned in those yellow circles. And that was the main reason for Wockhardt to really enter into the field of antibiotics. So just to let you know that in the animal, you need to infect the animals just the way human gets infected. Then only you are able to make out whether the drug is effective or not. For that, we immunocompromise the animal. The animal's immunity is reduced to zero, so that antibiotic is now should be able to act without the help of the immunity. And under that situation, we found that when you treat this drug with the 2 doses, excellent killing was seen with levonadifloxacin, but almost no killing was seen with other antibiotics which are currently used in the hospital.